He looks afraid, doesn't he? Well, today I happened to just Skype briefly with Jen Lantero, and I don't even know how Bolton came up, but I said, I think he's afraid of Trump. And of course, she's sitting there with her pendant, just like, let's ask. And she grabs, her pendant. She asks it, is Bolton afraid of Trump? And the thing starts swinging, yes. Oh my gosh, we were laughing so hard. But anyway, so after I saw that clip, I don't know why I saw it the other day, I threw a spread really quickly. I didn't have time to read it, but this is what I do all the time. I'll throw a spread, take a picture of it, so I have it later, kind of like forensic tarot. I'm probably more forensic than than not. But so I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to read it as Jen gave me permission to do so because it was pretty funny. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so here is the spread that I threw right after I saw that on TV because I just saw fear in Bolton's eyes. So here we go. I used the before tarot and it's really quite interesting. So this video happened in April 2018. I thought that it was current at the time, but you'll see common things going on then that are happening now. So the card for the reading was the devil over here. This, like the deals that you make with the devil. You need to associate this with Capricorn in the 10th house. The 10th house is your highest achievements. It's the deals that you make with the devil to get to the highest point of your careers, is one aspect of that. This card fell out, the Six of Wands, the celebration. So here we go. Here's the signifier. I was laughing when I saw that it was the Page of Cups because that's how Bolton feels. He feels like he's just a little page. He doesn't have original ideas because the bird that drops the fish in his cup, he's being told what he has to say. What's covering him? His role as NSA is actually being an apprentice. It's not for his expertise. He's filling a position and he's for hire. Just like Barr. Barr always shows up for me now as the 8 Pentacles. And what's the challenge for Bolton? It's the White House itself. So he's the page and his challenge is to do the White House's bidding. What's at the root of this? Of course, we have the 6 Pentacles, and I always laugh at this picture because I think that this guy here, the 6 Pentacles guy, oh, you can't see it very well. I'll get a different picture for you another time. I think he's a spitting image of Wilbur Ross. So he's, doling out money. This is your job. This is what you're going to do, and you're going to like it, okay, as he's being told by Donald how much to pay and when to pay. What's crowning this reading is the Queen of Swords. Now, that was in April 2018, and usually that comes up for me as a New York Attorney General. But part of me, looking at this again, was wondering if that was like Ivanka kind of breathing down on him, Ivanka and Jared, because Bolton has no control over the messaging. And we know that Pompeo is the so-called Secretary of State, but the back channel of the White House really seems to me to be Ivanka and Jared. So what happened in the past with Bolton? Well, he came into the White House because this 10 of Swords, Donald was done then. And it signifies to me that, I don't know if you can see this, but there's these little people hiding here behind the bushes. They got swords, like ready to pounce. I don't necessarily see that as people ready to pounce. I see that as like his cabinet of people who have just, resigned over time. He's really left alone, and it is going to leave him in the cold and all those swords in his back. What are the future implications for Bolton? And this is probably what he realizes. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. And more, I believe that this Knight of Pentacles is Pompeo. And Pompeo really, really concerns me. I think, what Pompeo in my mind is actually doing is going out there and doing deals. And I especially took note when during our shutdown, he was down in Colombia. after he did a Latin American swing. Well, when he was there, during our shutdown, the State Department gave them $92 million so they could help them with their economy and their flow and their migrant problem into Colombia from Venezuela. While we're shut down, they're helping their economy and their migrant problem. And we're shut down over a wall because we won't fund the wall. And it became very clear to me that Pompeo was just saying that. In my mind, there's so much going on in Latin America and Central America that truly terrify me, aside from so much Russian presence. I feel like the migrant crisis is actually being triggered by Putin propaganda's presence there in Central America, and I can tell you more about that later. But you know who else does a lot of work in Latin America? Is Eric Prince. Eric Prince hires all of his mercenaries from Latin America. So I'm sure that this money going through Pompeo to Colombia is getting kicked back out to Eric Prince and out to others, and I'm sure that it's making its way to Putin, because Trump, if he owes the United States, or if he's lost $2 billion through the United States of America during the decade of the 80s and 90s and 1 year in 1999, I'm sure he has major debt to Putin. So this Knight of Pentacles, I think, is Pompeo. Oh, and also that's why I think he's so crazy about the wall, because they already figured out who their contractors are. I think they want to build the wall so that everybody can get kickbacks and get their money. Because right now, you know what? I don't think Donald can touch his money, and I don't think Ivanka or Jared can either, because they're being so closely watched. Okay, so how do people see Bolton? Part of the tower. Tower is going down. The tower is associated with Aries, the sign Aries, and Mars. Mars being aggression and taking things down. So he's part of a very aggressive tower of power in the White House. What's the environment like here for Bolton? There's a lot of problems happening. I mean, this was back in April 2018. So this is a year ago. This is the year after Comey had been fired. Now what's going on in April 2018, we're dealing with the migrants, and the whole Syrian war was going on then. Gosh, there was just so much happening. I can't even keep it all straight anymore. So hopes and fears, we have the Six of Cups. Bolton wants peace. He wants peace. He wants to go back to a time where things were a little bit simpler, and he is afraid of Trump. And to get to peaceful times, he has to do Trump's bidding, even though he's such a warmonger. His hopes, his dreams and ideals is that he'll look as strong as Trump. And the result, King of Wands. Why is Bolton afraid of Trump? Because he, owes everything to the King of Wands, Trump. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.